You all right? I hope so. In fact, most of the best mystery movies and series have been adapted from a book or inspired by one. With the genre having a vivid return in recent years, a number of incredible books have become a leading candidate for future adaptations. From psychological thrillers and supernatural traps to the more traditional murder mystery. Let's take a look at 5 dark and distorted mystery novels that would make magnificent films. This brilliant award-winning thriller tells the story of Jane Jenkins, a former Paris Hilton as the high society-ed girl, who is being released from prison 10 years after being convicted of the murder of her own mother. Having escaped a life sentence due to a technicality, Jane decides to solve the problem of her mother's murder to prove her innocence. Her only clue is a private conversation she heard on the night of the murder. She heads to a small town in South Dakota, where many secrets from her past seem to have been hidden. As things unfold, she begins to question whether Anne really is the killer she is trying so hard to catch. Presented as Gone Girl and Mean Girls, this 2014 novel by Elizabeth Little is one of the most effective thrillers in recent history. The plot is quite unique, following Jane as she tries to investigate the case, while the whole world believes she has escaped with the murder she is trying to solve. I speak of the Dear Daughter series. Now You See Me is another fantastic book. It tells the story of London detective Lacey Flint, who comes across a strange case when an impersonator of Jack the Ripper begins to kill and send letters to the media to insult the police. Although everything seems very superficial at first, the investigation takes a real turn when the killer calls Lacey by name. And the deeper the rabbit hole the case goes, the more Lacey realizes that the killer may be connected to a certain part of her past that she has worked hard to keep secret. With 5 days to go before the next murder, and accompanied by a DI that begins to suspect her more and more, Lacey knows she needs to find the killer alone and before anyone else. This award-winning suspense masterpiece, courtesy of British author Sharon Bolton, ushered in a series of critically acclaimed novels. Since its releasing, fans have been begging for a film adaptation of the novel. With its fast-paced narrative, captivating intrigue and well-written set of characters, Now You See Me is a story that could only be improved by a film adaptation. Karen Slaughter is a book that would make a great film. This series tells the story of a CDC scientist who is suddenly kidnapped by a mysterious group of people in a parking lot in Atlanta. 30 days later, 2 massive explosions destroy an entire neighborhood in the city. As they walk to the scene, GBI investigators Will Trent and Sarah Linton are taken aback by a violent car accident, and Sarah is kidnapped by the same people who took the scientist. Will is left to die at the crash site. Coincidences? Difficultly. Everything is connected, and before they can make any sense at all, Will and Sarah find themselves at the center of a disturbing conspiracy that could lead to the deaths of thousands. This 2019 bone-chilling Karen Slaughter novel is incredibly dark and twisted, and has the courage to go to places you wouldn't expect. Following Will while he hides in a world of corruption, terrorism and cults is a ride like no other. The book is raw, action-packed and thrilling throughout its course, which could be a highly entertaining film in vein from True Detective or Seven. Rumors have circulated about an ongoing adaptation of The Last Widow, but so far, nothing has been officially announced or confirmed. My Lovely Wife is another book that would also make an impactful film. Millicent and her husband have it all. A good marriage, a beautiful house in the suburbs and 2 magnificent children. On the surface, nothing could be more perfect. But sustaining a marriage is difficult, and some couples often decide to do activities together to spice up the relationship and keep things fresh. Nothing out of the ordinary, right? Wrong. You see, Millicent happens to be a cold-blooded sociopath, and his hobby of saving marriage by chance is the art of getting away with murder. Few words can describe how distorted and macabre this book is. From the beginning, the petrifying nature of the story has taken over you as you discover the most intriguing serial killer in fiction since Dexter and Mads Mikkelsen's Hannibal. Luckily for us, a film adaptation of My Lovely Wife is already closed. The Deadline reported in February 2020 that Amazon Studios and Nicole Kidman's company, Blossom Films, have partnered to acquire the rights to the best international seller of Samantha Downing. And while we don't know whether Kidman herself will portray the terrible Millicent, we can still dream about it while we wait. Finally, I'm going to talk about Greywalker, which would also make a great movie. Harper Blaine is a private investigator as common as he can be on the foggy, rainy streets of Seattle. But when one of her cases goes awry and she is violently attacked by a maniac she was tracking for a client, Harper is pronounced dead. For 2 minutes. When trying to return to her life after waking up and leaving the hospital, she realizes that things are not the same. She sees and hears things she shouldn't see and hear, and when mysterious people start to follow her, she knows that not everything can be a coincidence. Harper is now a Greywalker, a rare being able to jump between our world and the other. This underrated and bizarre novel by Kat Richardson from 2006 is the first in a long series and has garnered a certain cult following over the years. The clever use of the detective noir genre mixed with a paranormal element creates an action-packed, elegant style, led by an insanely charismatic protagonist, wearing a leather jacket, who tries to navigate her new reality as things get more dangerous. The format of the novels and the series as a whole would be perfect for a major film adaptation. Thanks for watching the video. For lovers of sport at home, I will leave a good rowing machine here on the link below. Very light and super easy to store in your home. Physical health also needs to be preserved by all of us. Thanks for watching the video, see you next time. Subscribe to the channel and send it to your friends who love movies and series. God bless you.